So, how do you start something new? Well, the first thing is to find your point of dissatisfaction. What are you dissatisfied about? Lucy Moore, for example, her first messy church started because she and her team were dissatisfied with the fact that so few children were coming to church. So what are you dissatisfied about? Make that your starting point. Secondly, explore how you can address that dissatisfaction. Don't start with a blank piece of paper. Start with what you've got, who you are, what you know, and who you know. That's what Lucy Moore and her team did. They started with who they were. They were all into children's work and youth work. What they knew, they were all into the creative arts. And who they knew. Leslie on the team, she was a childminder, and she knew quite a number of the local families. That's how the first Messy Church began. And you can adopt the same approach. Start with what your team is passionate about. Think about your experience and your expertise and ask, who do you know? For example, if you want to connect with the parents in a local school, don't think you have to do the obvious thing and start a parenting course. If you don't know anything about it, that's stupid. Start with what you're interested in. For example, if you enjoy film going, form a film club. Meet one Friday, watch the film, meet the next Friday, and discuss it over a meal. The third thing is to tell a good story. Tell a story that makes sense of what you're thinking about. Lucy, for example, she told a story about the failure of her local church to connect with children and its responsibility to pass the gospel on to the next generation. That story made sense to her local church because the church believed in mission. If you want to tell a convincing story, it must engage with the concerns and the priorities of the people who hear it. So tell a story about what you have in mind that connects with the priorities of the people you want to reach and connects with the priorities of the people you want to help you. Tell a story that persuades people because it addresses what they're interested in. This connects with the fourth element in starting something new, and that is getting a story that will spread and amplify and reach the people you're interested in. How does that happen? It happens when people get excited. So when you tell your story, listen and watch to the people who you're talking to. Are they getting excited? If not, then ask yourself why. What do you have to change in your idea, in the story, to get them excited? The fifth important thing is to stay on the edge of chaos. This is the boundary between chaos and stability. You don't want, when you start something new, to get stuck in a rut. But equally, you don't want to change things so often, so fast, so much that your volunteers become overwhelmed by all the change, they melt away, and the initiative collapses. Lucy said that in her messy church, they kept changing things all the time. They kept trying new things and learning from what they did. But they did that within a framework of keeping the same their monthly meetings. Their monthly meetings were always in the same format. So you do the same. Keep your new community fresh. Keep trying out new things, but do it in a familiar framework. Finally, the sixth thing, when you start something new, people's lives are transformed. This is the result of what you do, the lives of the people you seek to reach, but also the lives of the volunteers, the lives of yourself. So there we are, 6 things: dissatisfaction, exploring, telling a good story, changing the story so that it fits and excites the people who hear it, educhaos, transformation. These are the ingredients of a community that's new.